Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. I think what we're going to be talking about is incredibly important. I want to share what I think I'd use the adjective exciting updates about what took place with the summer EBT in this past year and what our vision is for 2025. And I think first, maybe before, I would like to just spend a couple minutes on 2024. Really proud of the people that are here with me. The impact we made on children's and families' lives was really incredible. And as I love to say, only in Nebraska. And we couldn't have done it without a lot of collaboration and work. In retrospect, it was launched, the Summer EBT program was launched in partnership with the USDA, the Nebraska Way. And out of the 38 states that operated the summer EBT during 2024, Nebraska was the first state to add a unique outreach component of the program. Really cool. Other states are expressing and wanting to understand what Nebraska did and how they can implement it. The Nebraska Way allowed us to link families to additional programs. Families aimed at promoting economic stability and family well-being, helping in those areas. And by doing so, we transformed it from a program that provides money for groceries through the EBT card to a program that provides broader support to Nebraskans in need of services. These are a couple statistics that I think are really important. Through the Nebraska Way, the state successfully distributed just a tick under $24 million in summer EBT benefits to just under 200,000 Nebraska children that came from just under 122,000 families. Our team sent over just under 80,000 text messages to participating families through the summer. The Department of Health and Human Services staff helped provide over 12,000 additional resources to over 7,000 Nebraska families in need. These resources helped with utility payments, health care, child care assistance, behavioral health resources, and many more. So the Nebraska demonstrated leadership in summer EBT in 2024, being among the first states to issue benefits and earning recognitions for its swift implementation. To continue providing this outreach component and expand on these services, we are enrolling in the program for 2025 in collaboration with the Nebraska Department of Education. So we have drafted comprehensive plan and we'll be submitting our application in the coming weeks. So with that, I'd like to introduce Steve Corsi, our Director of the Department of Health and Human Services. His leadership and his team played a vital role in our success. So, Dr. Corsi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Governor. Thank you for having us here for this important announcement. Thank you for your leadership in making the Nebraska Way of summer EBT implementation with multiple touch points, in my opinion, the best summer EBT program in the country. Thank you also to Commissioner Maher for agreeing to collaborate again with DHHS to implement summer EBT. Working together, we can better ensure that Nebraska's children receive the food and resources they need to thrive in the summer. The governor has already discussed the great success of last year, and I'm excited under the leadership of Shannon Grotrian, who's next to the governor here. Shannon is the director of the Office of Economic Assistance at DHHS, and I'm excited to continue building off last year's success for an even more successful 25. Under Governor Pillen's leadership, we designed the Nebraska Way. The Nebraska Way, he mentioned, doesn't just transfer additional dollars or money to the EBT cards, but it provides touch points to families to ensure that they have what they need in the summer months. We're pretty proud of that. In fact, as a psychologist who worked extensively in schools, I can tell you that the connection between food and good mental health is real, and it's extremely important. Not only is food important, but nutritional food is vital to our mental health. In fact, studies show that nutrition affects the brain development and mental well-being of children even more than it does adults. Children who eat a more nutritional diet with more fruits and vegetables, more natural foods, have better mental health and well-being, which directly impacts anxiety levels, sleep patterns, concentration, impulse control, and more. The governor often talks about, and I hope you've heard him make these comments, he often talks about starving in the midst of plenty. And this summer EBT program is a great example of the fact that if we can get nutritional information and food in the hands of parents, we can reduce those nutritional deficiencies that cause starvation in the midst of plenty, as the governor talks about. Other studies point to a connection between a poor nutritional diet and diagnosis of ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and many, many other mental illnesses. One of our goals for summer EBT is to provide information for parents on the importance of nutritional foods on their children's development. That's one of our main goals. We're excited about the program and building on our success from '24 to support children and families. I just want to say that I deeply appreciate Governor Pillen's leadership and his direction to us to implement this program. Thanks to his leadership and concern for Nebraska's children and youth, we're leading the nation and will continue in '25. So, Governor, thanks for having us here.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I think the second, I'm really grateful that Brian Maher, Director of Department of Education, incredibly important partnership in reaching kids through the summer. And so, Dr. Maher, thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for being here this afternoon. Governor, thank you for the invitation. Truly appreciate it. The Nebraska Department of Education is pleased to partner with the governor's office, and DHHS to deliver the summer EBT program. The work of our dedicated NDE staff in cooperation with DHHS and the governor's office demonstrates our collective commitment to the Nebraska way to make sure that we have a positive impact for students statewide. The Nebraska Department of Education has and will partner with DHHS to provide the necessary student information to DHHS so that eligible children are identified and families are aware of the benefits and resources available to them. The NDE will also continue to administer in the summer food service program. Like summer EBT, it also provides a no-cost food option to children across the state, but it's at specific sites across the state where kids can have access to nutritious meals and snacks during their summer days. There are 280 such sites around the state operating in schools, in some schools, or in some nonprofits. In 2024, the Summer Food Service Program in Nebraska reached about 27,000 children in our state. And while that sounds like a lot, we know that our data shows that more than 153,000 Nebraska students are eligible for free or reduced priced lunch meals. This means that less than 20%, about 1 in 6 of our eligible students were provided meals through the summer food service programs. Many communities eligible for the summer food service programs, either for whatever reason, chose not to participate in our partnership. And the summer EBT helped fill that gap to make sure that students and families have that necessary support for nutritional services. We also know that the number of students in our summer food service program is on the rise, at least for a 3-year trend. I want to close by again thanking the governor for allowing us to work with DHHS and providing opportunities the Nebraska way to make sure that youth in Nebraska are well cared for, not only during the school year, but during the summer months as well. Again, Governor, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate all your work. Thanks for being here. And then really, really important to be able to recognize Shannon Grochan, the program enhancements with the Department of Health and Human Services. Shannon made it happen, her and her team, and we're grateful for your work and would like you to come up and say a few things, Shannon. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Pillen, and thank you for your leadership in making a summer EBT a success. I'd also like to thank Commissioner Brian Maher and the Nebraska Department of Education for their continued support and collaboration as we continue the summer EBT program. I'm thrilled to share updates as we adapt to meeting the evolving needs of families and continue to grow the program in support and the support it offers. We intend to begin issuances in late April to align with the summer school schedules and the start of the summer period, ensuring families have access to resources when they need them the most. We will continue our commitment to direct outreach through the Nebraska Way, reaching families via text messages to learn what additional assistance they may need and provide them appropriate referrals. We're updating our online form previously used to ensure a more seamless process for families seeking these additional services. This proactive approach ensures families in need are receiving the assistance that they need. To support the continued outreach effort, we will educate other divisions, community agencies, and support specialists on the summer EBT information. We will also prepare them for a potential influx of referrals to their programs. One of the most exciting expansions is incorporating more nutritional education into our summer EBT program. This will empower families to purchase healthy food items and budget effectively, promoting long-term well-being. To strengthen our impact, we plan to partner and collaborate with programs and organizations such as SNAP Education, the Summer Food Service Program, the Grocers Association, and other community-based programs. Together, we'll share information about summer EBT and provide families with additional nutrition education tools. We also plan to develop newsletters and flyers to share critical information throughout the summer months and act as an additional touch point to those we serve. These materials will keep families informed about resources, updates, and opportunities available through the program. These enhancements to the summer EBT program reflect our ongoing commitment to evolving with the needs of the families we serve by expanding our partnerships, providing more educational tools, and continuing our direct outreach. We're ensuring that this program not only grows, but makes a greater impact in 2025. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you very much, Shannon. I appreciate everybody being here and the comments, and we open it up for questions.
Governor, can you talk about your kind of transformation from maybe being a skeptic of this program to now being a supporter and actual innovator of this program?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a couple things. You know, I originally said no to the summer EBT program, and there's a couple real fundamental reasons on why. When I learned that through the pandemic, when children were isolated, I think common sense would tell us all, would the calls for children in need go up or down during that time to the Department of Health and Human Services? What would everybody think? During the pandemic, when everybody was isolated, would our children have more needs? Would seem pretty common sense to me that the calls would have shot up like a rocket ship. Well, the fact is, the calls to the Department of Health and Human Services for children in need dropped like a rock and hardly had any calls. And the reason why that simply is because our children, or our teachers are our greatest advocates for our children during the school year on a daily basis of being able to help identify children in needs. So when I heard about a program to be extended from the pandemic, I didn't have a positive thought about that, because I viewed it as a $40 card, and I viewed it as being more isolation for our children, which, you know, I do believe all of us in Nebraska agree our kids are our future and we never give up on kids. And so my initial thought was that that would be given up on our kids. Yeah, I had a day that I'll never forget. I had the opportunity to go visit with all the kids at Boys Town, and their incredible stories and how they're transforming their lives. And then later in the day, I met with kids that showed me what some of the summer SNAP program foods were. And it was very easy, unacceptable. And so that's when we called and said, okay, how do we do better? And that's where, okay, it was $40 a month, which isn't very much, but how for 3 months, $120 per kid. But then how do we create a program where we can, we called it touch points. Shannon's team worked on it and worked with the USDA, and they said, wow, this is awesome. And because there's lots of other services that were able to be impacted positively. So it was an awesome transformation. We love calling it the Nebraska way, right? My job's to be chief bragging officer in Nebraska, because we step up when we know there's a need, and that's exactly what took place here. Aaron?
Clarify, it was mentioned that the Nebraska Way also transferred additional dollars into the EBT program. Was that the $24 million that you referenced earlier, or is there a different figure for that?
So the question was in regard to the dollars transferred in. So the just under $24 million that came from the summer EBT program. That was additional, in addition to the SNAP dollars that are eligible for families that sign up during the summer programs. So the summer, the amount originally, I think the dollar amount was estimated to be around $19 million. In all actuality, it came in just right at $24 million.
Got it. So the money that was transferred from the Nebraska Way to the summer EBT, do we have an estimate of how much money was?
That would be a part of that program. That's part of that program. So that's the money in the program, and the Nebraska Way is the implementation of it, i.e. partnering with the Grocers Association to get information out to help moms and dads understand to get the best value for the best quality food for the $40, those kinds of touch points, and Shannon could visit to it in more detail if you'd like.
So yeah, the just under the $24 million was the dollar amount that went out on the summer EBT cards. That is separate from SNAP cards. So those that are eligible for SNAP would have a SNAP card. Those that are eligible for summer EBT would have a summer EBT card. We sent out text messages to families that contained a form that they could click on and tell us what their needs were in addition to what they received in the summer. And then our staff reached directly out to those families based on what they told us that their needs were, talked with them about what resources were available in their community and what resources were available that we had that maybe they didn't know about to help meet those needs. Yep.
And I think that we can very confidently state the other 33 states that participated just sent the cards out and said good luck. So I'm really, really proud of what everybody here collaborated on and developed to make sure we did the best we could for our kids. Andrew?
Corsi, or Commissioner, I ask this of you. Is there anything that you've seen in our research or stats back that this has made a difference in the short time that we've had?
So the question is there anything that either Director Corsi or Director Maher has seen that is tangible and positive with kids and families?
So I don't think we were just kind of sidebarring over here, and I'm sure you saw that. I don't think either one of us are aware of any specific statistical information that says that kids and families are any better off. But as the governor has talked about, I think he mentioned that there were about 80,000 texts that went out to families on meeting different needs that they would have. And I would say just common sense would tell us that if we can put some additional benefits in the hands of families, parents, for children, that children are going to be better off. So the additional $40 a month certainly would help them with the nutritional information that we're trying to get out to them. That's going to help them and help parents make better choices like the governor was talking about. But we don't have any specific statistics. Yes, sir.
I think the question really was dealing with what are the student outcomes, but I would talk a little bit about from a state perspective. When the governor called us in, talked to us and said, can we get this done? DHHS and NDE worked together quickly, and I would say seamlessly, and we used the infrastructure that DHHS had, and we put the talent together. And you might think I'm talking about Steve Corsi and myself, but I'm actually talking about Shannon Grotran and Katie Parch, who's in the back of the room, and the staffs at DHHS and NDE. And I think it was an exercise in how different departments who can become siloed can work together to make a difference for kids in Nebraska. That currently, I would say, is the biggest outcome.
Yes.
Governor, I've been doing some reporting on campaign finance in the last election. I've been doing some reporting on campaign finance in the last election. Previously, you had confirmed your involvement with a PAC called We Are Nebraska, Liberal Hero. I've had sources tell me that you were also involved in a PAC called Nebraska United. Can you speak to your involvement in Nebraska United?
So we've been working very, very hard from day one. Started a week after the inauguration. I believe that we need to get people involved and get in the game. So we've been working very, very hard across the state of Nebraska to say, look, it's time to step up. Instead of complaining and yelling and screaming at each other, let's step up and make a difference. So that's what we're doing. And so we're making sure that we can have an impact on getting like-minded people elected, getting recruiting and getting great people to stand up and serve. Throughout the campaign, I was in awe of how many times people would come up to me and they'd say, thank you for running. You know, I thought about running for the unicameral one time. Well, we need to have a team of people recruiting and helping us identify people that, if they've thought about it, that we can help encourage and help that process. So, and also takes resources, and that's what people are helping out in as well.
I'm sorry, can you just kind of clarify what your role is with the PAC, with Nebraska United?
You know, I'm very engaged in both.
We Are Nebraska and
Yes.
So can we keep the questions to the summer EBT program? Does
Okay.
anybody else have questions?
Maybe let me close it with, I've just asked Shannon, Shannon does a lot of stuff to help families in need. And I said, was this one of the coolest things you've been a part of? And she just lit up like a Christmas tree. I think that tells you the success of the program. Thanks for being here this afternoon. All right. Congrats. Thank you.